Honorable Elina Mapenzi, I'm informed that all members were provided with this report on the 29th of November. So have you checked your pigeonhole for your copy?
No.
Then you should get yours from the pigeonhole. So let us have so are you ready, or until you get the report?
If members are
Yes, Honorable Peter Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I wish to concur with our able committee on the report laid on the table, but I've got a few observations, Mr. Speaker, sir. We have heard that there are 54 units, tractors, that only 14 are operational. That leaves a big, huge number of the tractors that are lying all over, and they are not even specified where they are. We don't know whether they are all parked in a garage or they are just scattered in our places in different parts of this county.
There's an interjection. Yes, Honorable CD.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving this opportunity here, Honorable Zero. Mr. Speaker, I think the report, according to the member who moved the motion, it is a very, very important report that I think every member from every ward, elected member from every ward, is interested on it. But it's unfortunate that most of us don't have the reports, meaning that we've not gone through the report. I was requesting you guide us, if possible, you give the members some time so that we go through the report and the recommendation, so that as we discuss, we know what we are actually passing the report, why you should let us support or reject the report. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Zero. I think we have been informed that the report was given to each member, and there's a way, usually the reports are kept in our pigeonholes. So later, Honorable Peter Shea continue. Maybe you make arrangements to get you as the members continue deliberating. Thank you. Go ahead, Mheshimiwa Peter Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. As per our report laid on us, I was requesting to know those many 40 units that are spread, have they been located into a special garage, or are they just spread all over the 35 wards? And what is the fate of these machines? These machines, Mr. Speaker, sir, are very expensive. And if it is only a matter of saying that we have 14 units that are operational and the others are rotting, I think we are not being very fair on our oversight. I would imagine that a thorough investigation on the 40 tractors that are lying elsewhere be brought to the attention of the committee, and the status, whether they are repairable or not repairable. Are they useful for our wards? Because it is very unfortunate. Once we move around, I was in Jilore, not Jilore, Adu. In Adu, we found a chain of so many tractors. And if you go to Kizurini also, you'll find a chain of so many tractors bearing the number plates of our county. It is not a good spherical view to see these units that costed money and they are left rotting all over. Maybe they should be collected. That is my personal imagination. Collected and maybe given to a garage which is competitive enough with the ministry concerned, so that they can be repaired and be used, because 40 against 14 is a big number. That's my take. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, Honorable Peter Shea, the reporter is from the Sectoral Committee on Agriculture. And the committee went round and inspected these tractors, and this is the report that they brought to this house. These are the findings that they have brought to this honorable house. So it is your duty, Mheshimiwa, to go through the report, and then you'll find all the answers that you have raised. And you stood up, but you did not say whether you are supporting or opposing the motion. So what is your stand?
Thank you. Thank you for your guidance, Mr. Speaker, sir. I don't doubt about our very competitive committee. I'm sure they have done a very commendable job. And maybe I come again to my colleague who was reporting that maybe there's some lateness on the distribution of these reports and maybe we didn't get enough time. But then I support the motion because I'm sure they did a very good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Mwambire Katengi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand first and foremost to thank the Almighty God for giving me this opportunity today to be here. It isn't a human effort, but it's God's effort. Secondly, before I give my contribution, I wish to give a point of information to the member who has just left the floor, that the committee went round in the 7 sub-counties, and in the report, I refer you to page, if you have the report for quickly understanding, I refer you to page where the minutes are. You start from the status of the tractors. We have clearly indicated that the committee visited Mariakani Station on 26th May to perceive the status of the tractors. The total number of tractors were 54. There were 3 models, Messi Fagso 385, which were 12 in total, Messi Fagso 4708, which were 34, and finally New Holland, which are 9 in total. And then it is proceeding. However, out of the 54 tractors, only 24 are in operational. 4 tractors are completely grounded. So if you wanted to know the number of tractors which are completely grounded are 4, while 27 tractors are partly grounded. That means 27 tractors can be repaired, 4 tractors cannot be repaired. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to give my submission by first supporting this motion or supporting the report. It is very crucial for the Department of Agriculture to implement this report after the adoption by this House today, if members will adopt it, because agriculture being the backbone of our economy in Kilifi County, we are supposed to use these tractors. But unfortunately, since we came into power, this government, the current government, the tractors have never been in place to be used. If I can give example in my ward, Bamba. Bamba, we've not received the government tractor. Last season we did not. this season we did not receive. So people of Kilifi need these tractors. They really need them because they can at least give service at a cheaper rate compared to the private tractors which are moving around. So I urge the Department of Agriculture that after the adoption of this report, they kindly move with speed, repair the tractors which are repairable, and distribute these tractors into the sub-counties. If possibly, each ward can be considered when it comes to rain season, so that we give support to our farmers and ensure that at least Kilifi County can be counted out of the food shortages in the different counties where normally Kenya is facing food shortage. In Kilifi, we can produce our food. The only thing that we need is just to support our farmers. And if the department will be serious and repair all these tractors, we have enough tractors. It's only that these tractors are not, the last regime was not repairing them. That's why we can find that 27 of these can be repaired. And then in our recommendation also, because we observed that during the time when a tractor is given to a certain ward or a certain sub-county, there are two charges. Sometimes the charges which are charged in the office are not the charges that are charged to the farmer when the tractor goes to the ground. So we also recommended for a closely supervision. And the other challenge that we got was that once the tractors have been repaired and maybe it's functional, then you'll find that even fueling is done on a central point. So our tractor is grounded just because of fuel. This also should be looked into it. They ensure that at least fuel can be easily accessibly by the operators. Also, we also observed that there are minor faults that some of these tractors have. But because everything is centralized in Kilifi, a tractor can take even to more than a week just for a very simple minor repair to be done. So we are also recommending, and there are very good recommendation this report has given. So I do support the report, and I urge the department to fully adopt the report immediately if it has been adopted by this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the report.
Thank you. Honorable Meso.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I just want to clarify some few observations in our findings since I'm in the Agriculture Department. I just want to let the House to know that out of the 14 tractors who are operating, 3 are in Kilifi South, 4 Kilifi North, 1 in Malindi, Magarini 3, Ganze 2, Kaloleni nil, Rabai nil, Mariakani 2, then Mtwapa 1, which comes to total of 14, which is very, very unfair. We have 35 wards, but now I can see maybe they did it according to the subs, but it's not really according to the subs. So I think we have to work more serious about these tractors. According to our observation also, recommended that department should procure spare parts and employ more mechanics. It seems as if they don't have more. The mechanics are very few. That is why we are getting this problem of the grounded tractors. And at the same time, the department should ensure the tractors are operated by trained personnel, which means those who are operating it, they are not trained. So our department, we should consider that. So long as we adapt it, we have to sit down with the executive so that these tractors can work. And it is quite unfortunate because the first recommendation was that it should be repaired before the end of the year, and the year is ending now. We are in December 5th. We are remaining with 25 days only. So I don't know if these 25 days, if the executive can manage to prepare all these tractors. It is raining, but rain is just going for nothing. So I support this, that we should adapt it, and it should be implemented. Not only to adapt it, but the executive must work extra hard. If we come back from after the recess, I hope everything will be clear. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I support.
Thank you. Honorable Juma Chengo.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi na mimi kuweza kusisitiza na kuweza kuunga mkono ripoti ambayo iko mbele yetu ili tuweze kusaidia jamii yetu. Kama baadhi ya waheshimiwa walivyonena pale awali kwamba mambo ya kilimo ni mambo muhimu sana. Kilifi County ile mazingira yake inachangia ukulima zaidi yoyote. Tukifanya uchunguzi mataifa ya Afrika na ulimwengu kwa jumla, tutakuta kwamba yale mataifa ambayo yamezingatia kilimo ndiyo yameendelea. Kwa hivyo mimi ni kuweza kusisitiza jameni kwamba tuunge mkono. Zaidi ya yote ni kwamba hivi karibuni hii mvua ambayo inaendelea kunya, ni kwamba kuna uwezekano mkubwa hiyo miaka ienda.
Tumia lugha sanifu.
Ni Kiswahili mufti kabisa hicho. Lakini saa kunyesha
mzuri ambayo ni ya kueleweka. Ukiona waheshimiwa wamepasua kicheko, ujue hapo umekosea. Tumia lugha iliyo ya kueleweka na ya kisawasawa. Endelea.
Asante kwa kuweza kusema maneno hayo, japo hiyo ni Kiswahili kizuri chenyewe kabisa. Lakini hata ile vile mvua ambavyo inaendelea kunyesha, tuna imani kwamba hii mvua hizi siku zijazo, kuanzia mwaka ujao na kuendelea ile miaka mingine, itakuwa ni mvua ya vuli, itakuwa inanyesha vuli na mwaka. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri haya matingatinga yarekebishwe mapema, maana yatakuwa hayana time ya kupumzika kabisa wale wafanyaji kazi. Na tukifanya hivyo, sisi ile maswala ya kwamba tujitweke masafuria na mambo kama yale, hatutakuwa tunayafanya tena. Tutajitweka majembe na tutakuwa tunaleta uchumi wetu, na sisi pia utaongezeka. Waheshimiwa hapa wawili watatu, kwa sababu tuko hapa, tunaona wameongezeka kiafya. Mimi pia huo ukulima ukiendelea zaidi, mtaniona kama ambaye nimeongeza. Kwa hivyo ninaunga mkono ili tulete chakula, na pia tukileta chakula uchumi wetu utakuwa unaenda juu. Hatuta hizi malalamishi hayatakuwepo. Kwa hivyo mimi ninaunga mkono. Nilikuwa nikiipitia hii sheria huu mswada, na pia mimi niko ndani ya hiyo kamati, na ni vizuri tuharakishe ili tupate chakula ili mambo yaende vizuri. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Asante Mheshimiwa Sidi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand first to support this motion, but I think based on the report we are getting, it seems that money is being collected and there is no way of monitoring where the money is going. So maybe my recommendation will be to the Committee of Finance to come up with a way where when the money is collected from the farmers, we know where it has been channeled to, and there is proper follow-up for the money. Secondly, we are also seeing here that the county employed staff that were not qualified. So much so that I think everywhere in this report, the committee has insisted that training should be done at all times. So my recommendation also is, can we ensure that whoever we are bringing on board is qualified and only little training or orientation is done? So I stand here to support this motion that they should buy, but let there be guidance from finance if they can come up with an act on how we are going to track these monies. And next time, so that when they do their budget, we know that we received so much from the agriculture, and they can also come up with funds for maintenance for these tractors. Another very important question we wanted to see in this report is, when were these tractors purchased? So that we know if so many tractors are grounded, is it that they need to be disposed of, or is it that they need to be repaired? Because maybe we are repairing something that needs to be disposed. So thank you, and I stand to support the motion.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Sidi. Mheshimiwa Moses.
I dignify your dignity, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm really humbled this morning getting this opportunity, and I'm standing to support this motion in full. I'm really surprised to see this report, because one of the things that I've observed is that the county government of Kilifi employed only one mechanic, one, to take care of 54 tractors which were bought. This is lack of seriousness. We are not being sincere to ourselves. Because how do you expect one person to manage 54 tractors? And then the report states that this guy is stationed in Mariakani and he cannot be provided with transport to move around and repair these tractors. For heaven's sake, how do you expect these tractors to survive? My humble request is we do a call to the CEC, Agriculture, the directors, the whole team of management, the Agricultural Department, to come and shed light on these things. Because even if we adopted this report, these people will not go read this report, and they're not going to take our recommendations very serious or with the seriousness it deserves. Machines wear and tear. I want to go along with Mheshimiwa Sidi that these tractors were bought long time ago, and we need to dispose them off so that we can get new tractors, and we employ people who are experts. Because what I'm seeing here, we employ the drivers. I also know how to drive a tractor, but I cannot make proper use of that tractor. A hungry nation will not develop, not at all. So we are putting our county in the basket of those people who are hungry, because we have the machines and assets to use, but we are underutilizing them because of lack of knowledge. And the Bible said people are perishing because of lack of knowledge, and I think we are perishing here because we don't have the knowledge of using these tractors. I support this document, but again, I would like to ask kindly this House to call the management team of agriculture, go through this document, and they know what the mandate is. Because I really believe every sub-county qualifies for a tractor, because there are 54 and we are 7. So every sub-county or even every ward can have a tractor. But it is really flabbergasting that when you go to Bamba, they don't even know what a tractor is. That has been confirmed by the area MCA there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. As I see it, I support the motion.
Honorable Mukadi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I stand to support this report. First and foremost, I think the county government of Kilifi had a good idea to help in the development of the production of food. But then we are seeing that those who are given that opportunity or the mandate to take care of those machines, they are not serious. First, you can't imagine that we have 40 tractors which are grounded. And then every other time, we go to our neighboring counties, we buy food in the name of Msolo, coming to help our citizens. I think if we are serious enough, then we could not allow this. You can see, even during the time of cultivation, these tractors are brought to the areas, the designated areas, very, very late. I'm a great farmer in my area. And even from the first time of devolution, tractors used to come there, but I never used one. So we are giving an opportunity to the private owners of tractors. They are making great money in our county. So I think it is time we have to get serious, so that apart from helping our farmers, we are also generating income from those tractors, other than leaving people from outside. I want to mention the Kambas. They are really reaping a lot of money from our areas using their tractors. So we have to get very serious. Otherwise, I support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Nzano.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Kabla sijaunga mkono ama kupinga ambayo yote hayo yako juu ya mamlaka yangu, kwanza kwa ripoti hii trekta 40 kwamba zimelala na 14 ndizo zinafanya kazi, ni wazi kabisa kwamba walikuwa waongezee kwamba hizi trekta zikununuliwa zikiwa mpya, kwa sababu haiwezekani trekta 40 ziwe zimelala. Na ninakumbuka hata ikiwa hawajaweka katika orodha hapa kwamba zimenunuliwa lini, lakini nakumbuka ni kati ya huyo mwaka wa 2016 hapo 15, na saa hii trekta 40 zimelala zikiwa zilinunuliwa mpya, kaunti ya Kilifi ikiwa iliweza kutumia pesa nyingi kununua trekta hizi. Kile ambacho tunakiona hapa ni ubadilifu tu wa hela ya Kilifi, kwa sababu trekta 54 na sasa 40 hazifanyi kazi. Ni wazi kabisa kuna mahali kulikuwa na uzembe juu ya kununua trekta hizi. Na hizi trekta kwa nje zilikuwa ni mpya kwa rangi, lakini kwa huo muda ambao zilifanya kazi hazikuonekana zikifanya kazi hapa Kilifi County, kwamba kila wakati zinafanya kazi ndio ziweze kuharibika zote karibu 40 mara moja. Na kama tunavyojua tunalima kwa msimu, itakuwaje kwa mwaka trekta zinalima mara moja ama pengine mara mbili, na sio sana kwa sababu vuli mara nyingi kwingine watu hawalimi sana, na ziweze kuharibika mapema namna hii? Huu ni ubadilifu wa pesa ya wananchi wa Kilifi ambao umekuwa ukiendelea, na watu kuzembea katika ofisi, pia kuweka wafanyajikazi ambao hawana utaalamu na hizo nafasi za kazi ambazo wamepatiwa, wakazidi kuharibu. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niwaambie hivi. Kamati ilifanya kazi yake na imeleta hii ripoti. Lakini hata hivyo, kama bunge tunastahili kujua hizi trekta zilikuwa namna gani, manake hii ni pesa ya umma ambayo ilitumika. Na kwa sasa hivi ikiwa haziwezi kufanya kazi tena, haina haja ya kutumia pesa tena kuzitengeneza na kuharibu pesa nyingine ya wananchi wa Kilifi. kama hazifanyi kazi, tunao mpango, tunaweza tukapitisha katika budget, tukahakikisha kwamba tumenunua mpya ambazo zitakuwa zina uangalizi mzuri na wataalamu ambao watasimamia vizuri, kuliko kuendelea kutengeneza trekta ambazo zinaendelea kutia gharama kwa kaunti yetu ya Kilifi na hakuna lolote la thamani ambalo linaendelea ama linaonekana katika hizo trekta. Kwa sababu nakumbuka kabisa kuna wakati zilitengenezwa halafu zikarudi tena zikawa zimeharibika, na sasa zinahitaji kuharibika, zimeshaharibika tayari. Kwa hivyo tusijaribu kutumia pesa ya wananchi kwa kuendelea kurekebisha vitu ambavyo havitaleta msaada katika kaunti yetu ya Kilifi. Ichunguzwe, kama haziwezekani ziachwe, tuwe na mpango, tununue mpya, na hao walioagizia hizo trekta waweze kuwa na maswali, kwa nini zimeharibika haraka namna hii. Ndani ya miaka 6-7 trekta mpya karibu 54 40 hazifanyi kazi. Halafu sisi tuko hapa tunalia kwamba hakuna kilimo Kilifi, ili hali vigezo ama nyenzo ambazo zililetwa ni msaada wa kusaidia mkulima wa Kilifi kuweza kupata chakula na kuweza kumsaidia. Na vile vile kuwe na mpango maalum. Hii county iko na sub county 7 ambapo tuna uwezo wa kuziweka katika kila sub counties tractor, sio lazima ziwe mahali pamoja, ili tuhakikishe kwamba kuna urahisi wa wananchi kuweza kupata msaada wa hizi tinga zikiwa ziko salama. Lakini si hizi tinga hizi, nadhani hizi tinga zinaleta shida kubwa sana na gharama kubwa sana na hapa ndio watu huwa wanatumia hizi repair kuanza kutumia pesa vibaya zaidi hata kuliko zile ambazo ni mpya zinunuliwe. Kwa hivyo ni kuwa makini katika maamuzi yetu, ili tuhakikishe kwamba hatupotezi pesa ya wananchi wa Kilifi, manake hii ni dhulma kwa yule mwananchi ambaye alikuwa anasubiri kusaidika na hizi trekta hivi sasa 40 zimelala. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi niko katikati, siwezi kuunga mkono wala kukataa ripoti hii, lakini ripoti hii iko dhaifu, ndio maana sitaweza kuiunga mkono. Asanteni.
Mheshimiwa Paul.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii. Kwanza nataka kuipongeza ile kamati ambayo ilifanya kazi nzuri kutembea kaunti nzima ya Kilifi ili kuangalia hali halisi ya hizi tractors ambazo zinahusu sana upande huu wa ukulima. Mimi nataka niunge mkono ripoti hii ambayo imeletwa na kamati hii. Kwanza kusema kweli, ugonjwa huu ambao uko katika Kilifi County kuhusu mambo ya ukulima imekuwa ni donda sugu. Mahali napotoka mimi, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa wodi yangu imetegemea kilimo, na nilipoingia katika uongozi niliona mambo mengine tofauti sana kulingana na ukulima pale Magarini. Niliongea na kiongozi ambaye alinitumania trakta 2, zikaja akasenambia kwamba trakta hizi zitalima kwako kwa wiki moja halafu ziende mahali kwingine. Na mimi sikujua kwamba Magarini sub county kuna tinga 12 ambazo kati ya hizo tinga 12 3 zimelala. Cha kushangaa Mheshimiwa Spika, trakta zile zilikuja hizo 2 na nikaambiwa kwamba zilitoka bila kujua, nikaambiwa zishafika tayari mashambani zinalima bila mimi mwenyewe kujua kwamba ni kitu gani kinaendelea. Na zilipofika kule mashambani, moja ikasemekana inafanya kazi, moja tu kuanza kazi ikafa hapo hapo. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa masikitiko makubwa, na nilipoulizia, nilipopigiwa na watu wangu wale huko nyanjani, wakaniambia kwamba saa hii tractors zimefika lakini ni moja tu ndio ambayo inafanya kazi. Nikamuuliza yule ofisa husika ili nijue ni kitu gani kinaendelea. Akaniambia kwamba limenitia machungu kama watu wa Magarini walivyonituma. Nataka hili jambo liishe, na wale viongozi ambao wanasimamia hii kaunti upande wa ukulima wawajibike na kila kitu kiwe sawa. Mheshimiwa Spika, asante sana kwa nafasi hii. Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante Mheshimiwa Paul. Mheshimiwa Tete, nafasi yako.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipea nafasi hii. Niyazungumze machache ambayo nimeyanukuu katika ripoti hii ambayo hayajanipendeza, japo nitaiunga mkono. Mheshimiwa Spika, Kilifi, kulala njaa na kutolala njaa kuko mikononi mwa viongozi wetu wa kitengo hichi cha agriculture. Ninazungumza haya kwa sababu nimeona ripoti hii ni kama ambayo ilishughulikiwa kwa umakini, lakini ina udhaifu ambao nataka tuweke wazi. Wakati mwingine pia tuzidi kuongeza uzito katika ripoti zetu. Kwanza, tunaposema ya kwamba tinga zetu, wale operators hawakufunzwa vizuri, ripoti hii tukaitoa kwa nani? Alotuambia kwamba hawa operators hawakufundishwa vizuri. Na pia tukiuliza ni nani ambaye alihusika na kuwafundisha, mpaka ikafikia mahali ikajulikana kwamba mkufunzi yule hakuweza kuwafundisha hawa watu vizuri, ndio wapate idhini ama kuajiriwa na county kwenda mashambani kufanya kazi. Ikiwa county government yetu ama serikali yetu gatuzi ya Kilifi inaweza kuingia hasara ya kutumia mamilioni ya pesa kwenda kununua tractors, alafu zikija zinaingia katika mikono isiyokuwa salama, badala ya kwamba zikafanya kazi, tumezipeana kwa wakufunzi ambao mpaka ishara wala dalili ya kuonyesha kwamba wanaijua hiyo kazi hakuna, alafu tractor ile ile iharibike. Nikimnukuu mheshimiwa mwenzangu Morris Hinzano akisema kwamba tractor hazikuwa mpya, ninataka kusema kwamba zilikuwa mpya, kwa sababu sijaona mahali ambapo tractor zinauzwa second hand hapa Kenya. Zote zinazokuja huwa zinatoka nchi za nje na zinauzwa na kampuni zinazojulikana, kwa mfano CMC, na huwa wanadili na vitu vipya. Kwa hivyo hawa waliopewa hizi tractors kama operators, mwanzo tumlaumu huyo msimamizi aliopeana hivi vifaa kwa watu ambao walikuwa hawajui kazi, wakijulikana ya kwamba wanaenda kufanya kazi wasioijua. Cha kwanza, hiyo ulikuwa ni uharibifu wa zile bidhaa. Alafu mahali pengine ambapo niko na swali napo ni tractors ngapi kwa ripoti inavyosema ya kwamba tinga zingine zilikuwa zinatolewa vipuri ama lugha ya kizungu spare parts zikiekwa kwengine. Ni tractors ngapi ambazo zilifikishwa hatua hiyo ya kutolewa spare fulani zikawekwa kwa tinga zingine ili zifanye kazi? Hiyo ripoti pia hatuna, kwa sababu haiwezekani iwe tunaambiwa tu kuna tinga zingine zilikuwa zinatolewa spare zikifungwa zingine. Zile zilizotolewa ni ngapi na zilizofungwa ni ngapi, na zinafanya kazi ama hazifanyi? Na fundi alikuwa akifanya hiyo kazi naye ni wetu sisi watu wa Kilifi, ama alikuwa ni mtu amepewa kama kandarasi kufanya hiyo kazi? Mahali pengine ambapo pia tataka pia tusaidiane, nimeambiwa kwamba Kilifi South kwa ripoti hii ilipata tinga 7, alafu 3 zafanya kazi, 4 zimelala. Nikafikishwa tena pale chini, nikaenda kuona Mtwapa ATC ina tinga zingine 2. Mtwapa ATC ninavyofahamu mimi iko ndani ya Kilifi South. Sasa sijui zile pale zinafanya kazi nje ya Kilifi South tofauti na zile 7 zingine, ama ni namna gani, ama zile ziko pale kwa mikakati gani pale. Pia ikiwa tunaweza kupata jibu maalum kwa hilo, tutasaidika, kwa sababu hiyo Kilifi South sasa ni kama ambaye kwa mtazamo wangu ilipata tinga 9, lakini zinazofanya kazi ni 4. Kwa mtazamo mwingine zile zingine zote hazifanyi. Alafu pia tinga 40 hazifanyi kazi, ziko grounded. Tinga 14 ndio zinafanya kazi. Hizi spare zilizokuwa ziking'olewa zilikuwa zinavishwa kwa zile zinazofanya kazi, ama zilikuwa zinatolewa pale zikifungwa kwa zile zingine zilizolala? Manake hizi zingine zinafanya kazi, alafu huku zingine zinatolewa spare zikifungwa zingine. Hizi zilizofungwa ni zipi ambazo hatuambiwi kama zilikuwa zinafanya kazi ama bado ziko pale zinangoja nini? Hizi zilizolala hizi, Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa mwenzangu amesema ya kwamba zifanyiwe uchunguzi ijulikane kama zinaweza kufanya kazi ama haziwezi. Mimi niko na ujuzi kidogo wa kuuza spare parts za magari na mambo mengine kama hizo, na spare parts ziko second hand ambazo gari yako ikiharibika unaenda unaangalia kama unaweza kupata kwa duka kama hiyo ufufue gari yako. Nataka zifanyiwe utafiti vizuri katika hizi tinga 40. Ipi iliharibika nini, inahitaji nini, na ni ipi iliharibika nini, inahitaji nini. Ikiwezekana tinga 20 zifufuliwe kupitia kwa tinga 20. Hizi zingine kama zitakatwa scrap, lakini spare parts zake ziwe zimewekwa katika tinga zingine ili zifufuliwe ziwe zinaweza kuwa operational.
Na kuongeza sekunde 3 Mheshimiwa.
Naam,
uweze kumaliza. Sekunde 3 uweze kumaliza.
Kwa nini kapimiwa hewa?
Ndio.
Naomba uniongeze zingine 3. Mheshimiwa Spika, hizo tinga kama itawezekana tunaomba zifufue tinga hizo 40, tunaomba zifufue 20, zifufue tinga 20 kwa utafiti ambao utafanywa na mtu ambaye ana ujuzi huo ikiwezekana. Alafu kilichoua hizi tinga, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna kitu kimoja huwa kinafanyika. Mimi nimejikenda Mgiriama halisi, na huwa naambiwa kwamba nyumba iliyofungwa kama hailali mtu, ikiingia baridi hata bila huwa inaingia uharibifu yenyewe. Na hizi tinga nyingi zilinunuliwa kweli, lakini zikakosa matumizi kwa sababu ya bajeti ya mafuta serikali yetu ilikuwa haina, na tinga zikalala. Kwa hivyo vifaa vingi pale vimeshika kutu kwa sababu hazikuwekewa bajeti ya mafuta. Na hapo ndio huwa tunafanya wananchi wetu kuwa maskini katika upande huo wa kulima. Naomba ikiwezekana zitengenezwe na ziekewe bajeti ya mafuta, ziwe zitakuwa zina operate kwa wakati unaofaa. Mwisho kabisa, tunaambiwa kwamba kuna tinga zingine zinaitwa Holland, ni nzuri kuliko Milati na Ferguson. Alafu nani kaondoka akaenda kuacha Holland na akaenda kununua Ferguson akijua kile kizuri kipo. Mikakati hii huwa inapangwa na watu wa aina gani? Wabadilifu wa fedha za umma, watu wenye kupenda kuendea vya rahisi kwa bei ya juu, kwa kunyanyasa mwananchi, alafu kitu kile kinakuja kinaonekana hakifanyi kazi, ukifikiria kwamba kuna uharibifu, lakini kilitarajiwa kwa muda ule kiwe kimefikia pale kilipofika. Ombi langu, hii sekta si sekta ya kuchezea. Kenya nzima ukulima ndio kila kitu, na sisi kama wana Kilifi tunahitaji kutegemea ukulima kwa maisha yetu kuwa bora. Naomba tafadhali, tunapofanya vitu kama hivi vya kusema kwamba tunafanya procurement, tuendee vitu vilivyo bora, si kwenda kununua vitu kuja kufanya kazi bora. Kufanya kazi, tunataka vitu bora vije vifanye kazi bora. Kwa hivyo, Mheshimiwa Speaker, mimi ninasema haya mambo ambayo yako hapa ndani ya hii report, kuna vitu vingi ambavyo vinastahili kuangaliwa ili tufikie malengo ya kuboresha ukulima. Asante.
Asante Mheshimiwa Tete. Kama nimekuelewa ni kwamba ATC iko ndani ya Kilifi South, na ninavyoelewa mipaka ni kwamba ATC iko katika wadi yako Mheshimiwa. Ni kweli? Kwa hivyo kulingana na mandate yako ya oversight, naomba usaidie kamati hii ya ukulima kwamba uweze yale maswali uliyoyauliza kuhusu hizi trakta mbili na zile zingine uwe utatuletea jibu ili utusaidie. Manake kamati kwangu naona ilifanya kazi mzuri, na ukienda vizuri kwa hii ripoti utapata kwamba haya yote ambayo wameyauliza yako pale ndani na yamejibika vilivyo. Asante. Mimi ningeomba nikurudishie mheshimiwa aliyeleta mswada huu akaweze kukamilisha mjadala huu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And again, I want to give thanks to all members who have contributed towards this motion. And even those who have not contributed, I know in one way or the other, they are going to contribute after the question, Mr. Speaker, and positively. So I urge and pray once more that we pass this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, honorable members, I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Sectoral Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on status of county tractors laid on the table of this House on Wednesday, the 29th of November 2023. With as many of the same opinion say aye. Aye. And with as many of a contrary opinion say nay. So the ayes have it. So, Mr. Clerk, next order.
Order number 9, motion. Adoption of the report of the Select Committee on County Public Investments and Accounts on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Malindi Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the financial years ending 30th June 2019, 30th June 2020, and 30th June 2021.
So I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Sectoral Select Committee on County Public Investments and Accounts on consideration of the reports
Select Committee on County Public Investment and Accounts on consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Malindi Water and Sewerage Company Limited for financial year ending 30th June 2019, 2020, and 2021. Mr. Speaker, before I can call Honorable Biria to second the motion, I wish to submit as follows, that the Committee on PICPAC scrutinized the auditor's report on the said company, and the issues noted or observed by the committee are as follows. 1, on a summary, financial performance. 2, performance by the accounting officers. And 3, unresolved audit matters that are prior audit matters. Under the financial performance, the committee noted that there was some laxity in the way the company dealt with the auditors, made the financial statements, and reconciled most of the accounts, like the customer deposits, trade and other payables, and if the company was a going concern by the financial year 2018-2019, considering that there were huge losses that the company was making. Therefore, the committee recommends that the company do a reconstruction of the financial records, implement a new cost recovery tariffs to boost revenue, and move out of the losses that the company is making. Also, the committee recommended that the company irons out the financial issues with the Coast Water company, because we noted that there were issues that the company was going on with the Coast Water. The handing over report was not clear, and then there's a lot of water leakage, and they call it uncounted water that leaks, and the company is being billed by the Coast Water company. Under performance by the accounting officers, the committee noted with concern that the accounting officers were not or had not been cooperating with the Auditor General during the time of the audit. That's why most of these audit queries have reached at the moment, or are reaching to the PICPAC committee. Otherwise, if these accounting officers could be cooperating with the Auditor General during the audit process, then most of these queries could not have been risen. Also, the accounting officers, if they could have promptly responded to the management letter raised by the auditor to the company, then most of these queries would not have been answered rather than being queried. The committee recommended seriously action to be taken by the company on the accounting officers who do not want to cooperate with the auditors during the audit process. We expect that the accounting officers cooperate with the auditors once they are in the institution, rather than querying the institution after the audit process have been done. In a simpler language here, the committee noted that once the auditors are in the institution, the offices of the company, most of these accounting officers are not cooperating, because the management letters raised by the Auditor General to the accounting officers, we noted that these, most of them are simple questions, most of them are records not provided, most of them are issues that can easily, on reconciliation of the statements, they can easily be dealt with by the accounting officers. But it seems, or we observed from the financial statements, that these accounting officers are not responding to the management letter. That's why most of these queries came up. Further, the committee recommends that most of the staff in the financial department be undergone, or they undertake a serious training or a fresher course training, so that they can play their role effectively. under unresolved matters, the committee observed that there were some queries, prior year queries, which had been raised by the Auditor General, but the company or the financial department of the company had not taken it seriously and sorted out those queries. That's why the queries kept on coming up year by year. So we noted that there had been queries from previous audits that have since remained unresolved. These queries, for example, included delegated work done by Coast Water Service Board amounting to Kenya shillings 18,313,353, which had not been cleared by the Mawasco company. And this is just a matter of reconciliation, Mr. Speaker. When you ask them, when the committee asked them when they came to the table, they just said it is a reconciliation matter because Coast Water is billing Mawasco all the amount of water that is giving. And Mawasco are not able to sell all this water that is given. Why? Because even to our areas, I think we can attest that sometimes there are leakages. That is, water is just coming out. Sometimes people deliberately or undeliberately, they punch the lines, especially during the water shortage periods. So all that water is taken by the community without pay because they are not billed. But the Coast Water are billing. So there are matters of reconciliation, but you wonder why the company is not taking serious to do these reconciliations. So these are some of the previously year matters which have not been sorted, and the county government also has not paid. You see, you are shocked, Mr. Speaker, to see that the county government of Kilifi is supposed to pay shareholding of Kenya shillings 100,000 to Mawasco. But up to now, or by the time we were looking into these accounts, which ended 2021, June, the county government of Kilifi have not paid their shares. So it's a matter of following up, because if we as county government need to be part and parcel of Mawasco, then we need to pay our shares. If we are not paying our shares, then we cannot say Mawasco is part and parcel of us. It will be rather still being run by Coast Water Services. So these are some of the prior matters that the committee observed. So the committee recommended that there was need that these issues to be properly resolved and a proper transition from Coast Water Service to Mawasco be prepared and tabled to this House after adoption of this report, so that this House can see the clearance of these 18,313,353,000 that were supposed to be cleared. The committee has recommended that immediately after this transition report, because the officers said they needed some time to go and do the transition report. So we told them that immediately after the adoption of this report, then the company should furnish this House the transition report, which will show the clearance of this amount. And then we also, the committee tasked the company to make a follow-up of the 100,000 shares that Kilifi County government needs to pay. Because as it is, then it will be like Kilifi County government is not part and parcel of Mawasco. Also, the burden of proof laid with Mawasco and not Coast Water. We are not dealing with Coast Water, Mr. Speaker. We are dealing with Mawasco. So when we are tabled reports that shows that most of these these unresolved matters or some of the queries are of Coast Water, we as Peak Park Committee informed or recommended that the burden of proof lies with Mawasco and not Coast Water Service. That's why the committee recommended that immediately after the adoption of this report, Malindi Water should table a transition report to see how it has become independent. It has moved out of Coast Water Service and it is running its activities independently. Basically, Mr. Speaker, those are, in summary, the observations and recommendations of these reports. But I kindly request Honorable Biria to second the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion, but before I sit, I would like to make my submission on the performance of the accounting officer based in page 12. It is the committee's considered position that close to 60% of the audit queries in this report could have been resolved by way of prompt action by accounting officer upon being invited by the committee. In this regard, therefore, the committee recommends that the accounting officer should take the audit process seriously and ensure prompt action on the Auditor General's management letters. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the report.
So, honorable members, a motion about the adoption of a report of the Sectoral Select Committee on County Public Investment and Accounts is on the floor, and I now propose that this House adopts the report of the Select Committee on County Public Investments and Accounts on consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Malindi Water and Sewerage Company, that is Mawasco Limited, for the financial year ending 30th of June 2019, 2020, and 2021, laid on the table of this House on Monday, the 4th of December 2023. So the motion has been proposed and seconded, and now is ready for debating. So, Honorable Mary Anzazi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to support the motion. The motion on the consideration of reports of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Malindi Water and Sewerage Company, Mawasco Limited, for the financial year ending 30th June 2019, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, the mover, who is the vice chair, who has been standing for the chair, he has said everything. I am a member of the committee of Peak Park, and what he has been submitted to this House, Mr. Speaker, sir, is what we discussed in the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Biria has read my mind, and he has referred the honorable members to page 12 of the report. As the committee members, Mr. Speaker, sir, we recommended that the accounting officer of Mawasco be serious when the matters of auditing rise in that company, because they were not serious when they were submitting to the committee. Otherwise, he will be surcharged in any matters concerning finances of the Mawasco company. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I support this motion.
Thank you. Honorable CD.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support this motion with a few observations. I don't know if it is our practice, but it seems that we are not employing qualified people to come and do the work. Because if you're not listening to the auditor, and if the auditor is asking for a document, and you, the officer, you are not able to provide the document at that particular time, then I think the officer does not know the seriousness of audit. To come to a situation where even after you come to the assembly, you still don't know where the document is as the officer. So maybe in this the third assembly, can we kindly ensure that the people that we employ, they know what they're doing in the offices? Because when you go through this report, you will realize that most of these errors are just omissions or interchanging errors or balancing errors. And I think if we go on with this trend, then we will be exposing Kilifi as a place where we are just employing anyone to get a job. This is a very serious report that we should ensure that such mistakes do not occur again in this committee. And if we as the committee member, we agree that if such a mistake occurs again, then the officer in charge should be surcharged with the amounts because of negligence, then that would be a way forward. But I stand here to support this report and to say that we expect that the next report, the quarterly report that will come to the assembly, will not have such mistakes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I raise in support of the motion. Mr. Speaker, I'm here supporting this motion, but I'm wondering, since the devolution, that was 2013 up to date, account which receives a lot of money, paying a share holding cash of 100,000 shillings, just once, it has not been done. And we always stand and talk about the importance of water in this county. So this means we, as a county, we are not serious before we go to the company. And again, Mr. Speaker, in this century, where even a merry-go-round group does an AGM in a given year, but you will be surprised in the audit queries raised by in this document. You will find that in page 37, the company violated their own Companies Act by having one AGM since 2014 up to date. They're serious. And again, the company board of directors had been in office illegal, contrary to the Companies Act, their own act. And they should therefore be made to refund the money that had been paid as allowances to these people who have been in office illegally. So, Mr. Speaker, we formed institutions whereby we need them to operate, but not illegally. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this motion. Thank you.
So, honorable members, I'm not seeing any member booking for a chance to make his or her contributions. So, allow me to put the question that this House adopts the report of the Select Committee on County Public Investment and Accounts on consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Malindi Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the financial year ending 30th June 2019, 2020, and 2021 laid on the table of this House on Monday, the 4th of December, 2023. With many as of this opinion say aye. With as many of a contrary opinion say nay. So, from here, being there no other business, the House stands adjourned until 2:30 for the afternoon session.